Cartoon Network just released a pilot of a show called Infinity Train, and oh man, it sure shows some promise. I'm definitely not the only one that thinks so. It's gaining popularity all over the internet right now. Tumblr, Reddit, petitions, people are loving it. And if you haven't seen it yet, click the second link in the description to go watch it. The whole thing is on Cartoon Network's YouTube channel. Now if you have, stick around and get ready. I've watched it a dozen times looking for secrets and references and even some things that people might have missed, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I found. Now, right off the bat, let's take a look at the surroundings of the train. It's some sort of barren wasteland, which almost suggests a sort of post-apocalypse thing going on. Or it could just be a dead, horrible area like Detroit, I don't know. But you can actually see two of the previous rooms Tulip and 1-1 progressed through earlier. One with these pinkish-purple bubbles floating around, and then just a multi-dimensional chess room. Honestly, I would have been stuck in the chess room. I just really suck at chess. Now, the car that the show starts off in is this sort of regal portal-like puzzle room. The only thing that really stuck out to me is that the puzzle involves a balancing scale, which makes it seem like it was perfectly designed for Tulip and 1-1 to solve, considering that 1-1 can split into two. But I did also notice there are these tiles lying on the ground, so Tulip could have also just used those to balance the weight instead of using 1-1, so there's really no definite. And while we're on the topic of character names, 1-1 actually has a name for each personality. Glad One and Sad One, which match accordingly. But Tulip just calls either of them 1-1, which suggests maybe it didn't have two personalities originally? I don't know, just a thought. Now, the next car is a fart car, which is pretty silly, so originally I thought it was just cartoon humor. But Tulip mentions that 1-1 has been banking on there being a fart car for quite a while, as shown here.
You said that for the last 8 cars. It's just too unlikely.
So it makes me think, does that mean the train can actually react and change in relation to what the passengers feel or expect? That would be pretty cool. After the fart car, Tulip says that she hopes the next car is a pizzeria that only serves cold pizza. So that definitely shows Tulip as some sort of monster. Cold pizza's gross. Now, the next part is very subtle, but I think a huge part of the story. Right after Tulip meets Atticus, she's bombarded by a bunch of corgis while walking with him. When they leave, Atticus says this:
"We just get very excited when someone new comes through the door."
Someone new comes through the door. This implies that others are on the train and moving through the cars. So that means Tulip is definitely not alone. And a bit further ahead, when Atticus smells Tulip's hand. Okay, does it seem like he definitely knows something but doesn't mention it? Here, watch it again.
How long has it been like this?
About a week.
That's how long I've had this number on my hand.
Interesting. Tulip, the monster that terrorizes my people.
Anybody else think so? I think it's related to the others who passed through, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. Also, how big is this train car? The other cars were normal size, at least from viewing from the outside, and gauging from Tulip and 1-1's initial reactions, this could be the first time they see a train car this interesting. Now, let's fast forward to when they find the door. According to the credits, the creature they find is called a steward, which by definition is a person who looks after passengers on a means of travel. Now, let's take a look at the scenery around the area. Notice, the hole in the car wall and skid marks on the ground show the crash course of what seems to be a meteor, which in turn damages this water main. The water main is the cause of the flooding in the village, but look, the steward seems to be trying to fix it, so now we're looking at an outside party, something connected to a train and whoever is controlling it. When the steward is interrupted, it starts to open fire, and continues to fire Atticus when he moves forward, but take a look what happens when Tulip shows herself. The steward doesn't fire. It instead comes over to Tulip and tells her to take her seat. Then when Atticus fixes the water main, the steward leaves. If you notice, it never attempted to actually hurt Tulip the entire encounter after she showed herself. So that's where my theory starts to build itself. I believe the whole train is a test, and Tulip is a passenger, aka a test subject. At first, I thought the number on her hand was her number, which subject she was, and not supposed to go down. But then it did. And that opened up a whole other can of worms. Now my running theory is that the number on her hand is some sort of ranking system, and something happens when it reaches 1. Immediately after fouling the steward, the number decreases from 53 to 49, a 4-number difference. Now I'm not entirely sure how that can be judged, but it's just a theory. There's another really cool theory floating around by Reddit user J123UK, that the number on the hand represents how many passengers are still alive on the train. Now that would be rad, but maybe a bit too dark for a cartoon. But there was something that I noticed last second. When the steward chases Tulip and grabs her ankle, it shows Tulip dropping her backpack. When a TV show or a movie shows something so specific like that, it probably has a meaning, especially a pilot with only 9 minutes to show itself off. So I think this is actually one of the most important parts to the story. What's in the backpack? 1-1. Watch what happens when 1-1 reveals himself from the backpack.
Miss Tulip!
Should I start writing your obituary?
The steward immediately leaves. Now at first I just thought it was the main being fixed, but there's definitely immediate reaction to 1-1, which in turn makes the steward leave. So I went back and caught something that I almost missed.
Why are you still on my hand?
What does that number mean, Miss Tulip?
I've been trapped on this train for a week. You've been here your whole life. I should be asking you.
In that case, it will remain an endless search devoid of all meaning.
Tulip has been on the train for a week, but 1-1 has been on the train his whole life. Now, I'm not sure how long that actually is, but it's definitely hugely significant. So that leaves the biggest question. What is 1-1, and what is his involvement in the train? Now, I have a feeling that he's hiding something from Tulip. Something not good at all. Well, that's all I have for the video. There's no way that I've caught everything, so head into the comments to bring up anything that I might have missed, or head on over to the Infinity Train subreddit for further discussion. Check the links down in the description for sources, credits, information, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe if you liked the video. It encourages me to make more. Let me know in the comments what content you would like to see. This is Jabluey signing out.